Thank you so much, Diego. This is really an honor. I have to tell you that my lovely partner in Health Freedom, Sarah here, she has to hold the microphone for me because I have an autoimmune disease, and you'll find it on vaccine inserts as a possible reaction to vaccines. So I shake so bad, she holds the microphone for me. I have a question for you all. We gathered right here at the Capitol on these steps 15 days ago. Who all was here? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand really high because I want to see you. Were you here 15 days ago? Now, if you do not have COVID-19, put your hand down. Are there any hands left? This just blew up the narrative. This just blew up the narrative that is on fake news. And I'm going to ask all the fake news reporters here, are you going to report this correctly? You're up.
As Diego said, we just wanted to remind everybody, Health Freedom Idaho stands for your right to see whatever doctor you want. Sorry. Your choice for what you do and do not put in your body and your children's bodies. Health Freedom Idaho stands for, and we have it on our name tag, it says your life, your health, your way.
Yes.
You have the right to assemble here today, and you have the right to worship. You have the right to run your business and provide for your family. You do not have to wear a mask, you do not have to take a vaccine, and you do not have to do anything you don't want to do because you are free!
So I have a call to action for you today. Stop participating in tyranny. Amen. Live free. We are created free. The Constitution of the United States supports our freedom. We are free, so live free. Take an active role every single day in protecting your liberty because as we can see, it's being attacked every single day. So I want to introduce to you Leslie Manukian. She's on the board of Health Freedom Idaho. And I had to bring in our best speaker who can say things so clearly, so understandably, and inspire you with even kind of the worst news ever. So Leslie Manukian, my dear friend and partner in Health Freedom, thank you for being here today.
Okay. Before I start, I just want to say I'm on the board, but these are the ladies who are at the Capitol every week. We're talking days, every single day, for hours. They work into the night. They all have 3 or 4 children. They work their butts off so that we can be free. They push back against tyranny every single day. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Okay. As I begin my remarks, I just want you to know, if you're here and you feel at risk, maybe you're one of those wearing a mask, it's okay. We stand with you. It is your right to protect yourself. It is your right, in fact, it's your duty to secure yourself, to do whatever you think is necessary to ensure your own health and well-being. And we stand in support of you, not against you. If you or a loved one has been sick, we wish you a speedy recovery. We do. We hope that you will open your hearts and minds to the idea that we all are sovereign and all are here to take care of ourselves. If our founding fathers were here today, they wouldn't recognize the country that we live in. They would not recognize what has been done to the people by the government intended to serve the people. Never before have the healthy been quarantined. Never. Our entire way of life has been altered and impacted in service to the few. That doesn't mean we don't care about the few. It just means that everyone's rights need to matter. That's what matters. But the truth is that we've all allowed this to happen. We have, folks. It's been going on for years. It didn't just happen in the last 3 months. After the tragic events of 9/11, we were afraid. People across this nation were terrified, and they allowed government to usurp our rights in a way unseen ever before. We traded our liberty for a little justice. For a little security. And you know what? It was illusory security. It wasn't real security. Ever since then, we have been sliding down the slippery slope towards authoritarianism. And I don't use that word lightly, but when the government can tell us who's important and who's not, who's essential and who's not, when officials like Brad Little are on television telling us that we have to be vaccinated in order to participate in society, this is authoritarian. In our state of shock and fear, we allowed the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act strips each and every one of us of our rights. Do you know that the government says it has the right to enter your business, your home, search without a warrant, without your consent or your knowledge? This is what the Patriot Act allowed. It is unconstitutional. Can someone take this? Sorry. We allowed the National Defense Authorization Act as well. Every year there's a new one. The NDAA of 2012 allows the indefinite military detention of civilians. You can be detained by the military with the writ of habeas corpus suspended. That means that you are not entitled to due process. They can hold you indefinitely without access to a judge or your lawyer. That's what this happened. That's 2012. When Edward Snowden warned us of the danger and abuses of the prison program, which spies on everything we say and do on the internet and tracks our phone calls, we were mute. We were too busy in our lives to take notice, push back, speak out, or take action. But please don't blame one political party, folks. While much of this legislation was passed under George Bush, it's been perpetuated by President Obama and President Trump. Yes, we have allowed this to happen, but today we say no more. Today we send a message to Governor Little that we don't want his dictated security. We reject his monarch-like edicts. We don't accept his determination of essential and non-essential businesses and individuals. We remind him that two wrongs do not make a right. It is never moral or ethical to harm one person in order to protect another. We don't care that Little and his predecessors and our so-called representatives have enacted rules and regulations that contravene our state's constitution. Can you do it? And the Constitution of this great nation. We remind Governor Little and all elected officials We remind all elected officials of the oaths they swore to uphold the Constitution of Idaho and the United States and protect our rights, not take our rights. We remind Governor Little that government is not sovereign. Government is not sovereign. We are sovereign. The only power or authority government possesses is the power granted to it by the people, not the other way around. The Idaho Constitution states, all political power is inherent in the people. Isn't that beautiful? It also states, all men are by nature free and equal and have certain inalienable rights, among which are enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, pursuing happiness, and securing safety.
Amen, sister. Favorite word.
You see, it says it right there in the Idaho Constitution. It is our right to secure our safety, not the government's. When we talk about sovereignty, folks, I want you to understand how important and how radical an idea that is. We are the only nation on earth that understands the importance of that. And the reason for that is that we're the only nation on earth that understands that our rights come from God. The implications of that idea are immense. It means no one can take them away because no one else possesses them but each and every one of us. But let me remind you that with liberty comes responsibility and duty. I ask you all to embrace these principles. It is the responsibility of each and every one of us to care for ourselves, to keep ourselves healthy, and to provide for ourselves and our families. It is our responsibility to help those in need. It is our duty as free individuals to educate ourselves about our Constitution, our rights, and our history. We must uphold these responsibilities and duties in order to understand and protect those principles we all hold so dear. Folks, as we consider the pathway forward, let's remember that they are the few and we are the many. Our numbers are growing. I lost my place. Our numbers are growing, and more people are challenging this authoritarianism. More and more people are challenging the narrative put out by the mainstream media. More and more people are waking up. And you know what? They're beginning to ask questions and dig deeper. I've had so many people call me in the last month asking me what the heck is going on, because they don't believe what they're being fed. I take so much heart in that, and I hope you do too. Today, with our ranks growing, we stop complying. We honor the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "An unjust law is no law at all." In fact, it is our duty as free citizens to ignore unjust laws. We ignore the out-of-control executive branch here in Idaho because that is our duty as free people. We simply do not recognize those unjust rules and regulations. So let's be really clear. No, Governor Little, you will not mandate vaccines for us. You will not force any medical product on the people. You will especially not force medical products on us for which you and the manufacturers bear zero liability, as is the case with all vaccines in the United States. We will not be tracked, traced, and microchipped like animals. I don't know if you folks have ever seen, but there are videos about what's going on in China with respect to the social credit system. That is what 5G enables. It allows them to track you crossing the street, and if you jaywalk like I just did a minute ago, your face will be flashed up on screens within a few blocks of where you are, and your credit score will go down, which will prevent you from being able to purchase a high-speed train ticket or a plane ticket. This is the purpose of 5G. The Internet of Things you probably have all heard of. This is to wire every single appliance in your homes to the internet so they can track everything you do. And they need 5G in order to do that. That is why it's happening. Okay. But let's get back to Governor Little. No, Governor Little, you do not own our bodies. You do not own our minds, and you most certainly do not own our souls. You will not dictate how we live. We stand together to say no more. The overreach stops here. We will decide. No more, no more, no more, no more. We will decide which risks we take. We will decide when to open and close our businesses, when to see our friends and loved ones, when and where to worship. We will decide how we educate our children and how we nourish our bodies and maintain our health. So, Governor Little, today we remind you that we, the people, are in charge. Today, we declare that all of Idaho is open for business. Today, we choose to live free. Thank you.
Hey, you guys, I just want to let you know we're over there at the table, Health Freedom Idaho table, and we have some hemp Freedom Idaho shirts and some Plants Over Pills shirts. So come see us over there.
Let's give a big round of applause for Health Freedom Idaho, ladies and gentlemen.